Omega Red, we have details on this character. How good is he going to be? How well will he fit on his Weapon X team? We're discussing that, the viability of the 4-piece Weapon X team in case you're not getting Omega Red, and the latest rumors on your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. I'm discussing all of that with my brother Remanx. How are you, my friend?
It's been a little while,
it has been a while.
I can definitely tell you that it is glad to be back, man, and happy to see you, bud.
I'm glad you're back as well. That was a rough spot, your health, but from us talking earlier, back to normal. Family is back to normal, so right. all good there, brother. So how have you been enjoying Marvel Strike Force, just in general? What has been going on with your enjoyment level, my friend?
Really enjoying MSF again. Like I don't know what it is. I think I'm having fun, like theory crafting. I feel like the war changes for me. The idea that there's different teams out there to kind of play with kind of opened up this I don't want to say like the golden age of like when war first started. I do feel frustrated to see like other people that were one time full clearing us, not even able to get past our buff rooms, and so I definitely feel for the community, because I think that we haven't figured out the right science way to attack the war. We're stuck with this old philosophy that there's just that we had to stack up defense and build defense teams, and I think war teams, war offense are so much more important. So if I said one thing that I would just have everybody just do is focus on your war offense teams, and I think you're going to find war to be a lot more fun.
Okay. Well, I'm actually having fun with the game, more fun with the game recently as well. I don't like war. War is not a mode that I like at all. So mine is from the raid. So yeah, a lot of different things. I don't know what it is. They're still screwing up. They're still having these bugs. Maybe personal. The rest of my personal life is a little better, which is why I'm a little more happy with the game. But I don't know what it is. I'm a little more happy with Marvel Strike Force, even though they're still doing all their same mistakes and all their errors that they do. But one good thing that happened yesterday, we got Captain Sam, now farmable. And if we go in game right now, he is now farmable on Doom 2.6. And as you can see, I've been refreshing this node over. Actually, you're covering that thing. Your screen is covering it. But yes, Captain Sam, now farmable, Doom 2.6. How many stars does your Captain Sam have right now?
So my Captain Sam right now is at 6-star. I was able to get like 20 from yesterday from just farming for cores, but I think I spent like 100 cores farming them. I missed.
Wait, hold on. You refreshed the hundreds, or you refreshed, or you used the 100 cores to refresh? Jeez. I wish I had
a couple of bingo drops, so I'm expecting a couple of zeros coming up really quickly, but.
I got like 6 on a refresh this morning on stream. Like, I did really, really good. I did 20 though. My God. All right. But yes, how valuable is this for players going for Omega Red based on the timing of this? He's farmable as of yesterday. Some of the recent in-game messages suggest November 2nd is when the Omega Red event is going to start. So do you think this is enough time for Captain Sam, his farmability for everybody that's wanting to get Omega Red?
Going to be enough time for everyone unless you decide how you're going to do your, really how you're going to farm. Like you got to break it down into a science, figure out how many you're going to do a day, and then figure out what the average rate is. And so I think you need to have a plan if you're going to start spending cores, because you don't want to come up short and wind up having to do that panic farming that we tend to call it. I think he was the harder to achieve character. Sharon Carter was the campaign event. Yeah, so easy. I'm okay that she's the last one becoming available, but I just hope they don't delay it too long, so people can start getting their chances for Omega Red. Because we were talking about it. I think some of us had a chance to test them out, right?
There is a test server available. For some reason, I always have trouble with these apps and getting them to run. So I'm like the last one on the test server all the time, but we are going to talk about a Mega Red in just a little bit. I do want to come back to I do want to stay on Captain Sam for a little bit though, before we move on to Weapon X and there. You talked about a plan farming it. How many, so people could start to plan out their farming and if they should be doing the 50s or the 100s as far as the refreshes. What is your average? What would you say is average on every 100 energy that you spend for Captain Sam or for a character? What would you say is a normal rate that people should expect? 2 shards for that?
Yeah, we tried to collect that data, and I think what we came up to is like 2.2 or something like that. Whether or not that
2.2 for every 100 energy that you spend.
Okay. So that again, that is not science. Because we were only as good as data was reported, and some people might have been exceptionally lucky, and I don't think we had enough data points on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some days you might get 10 shards just for one.
And so the idea behind it is, if you're trying to go for a Mega Red, you're probably going to bank this and bank some of your usable cores. And that's the thing is, you got that Silver Samurai event too, so you kind of gotta balance it out and try to figure out how you're going to really work on this team. And maximize your progression for it. But if you're focusing on just maybe like a 50 refresh and your energy kind of naturally restore, you kind of want to that's probably the best way to talk about it. And so, what day were you estimating it?
The second is what the in-game mail said. So. And if you look at the timing of that seems about right based on when they're having these legendaries with a couple weeks apart. So around November 2nd, week and that time. Maybe not that exact Tuesday.
So one thing I always remembered was legendaries I thought were always on a Monday, right?
They were, which is why the second being on a Tuesday is a little weird. And I wasn't sure if that was only the returning legendaries that start on Mondays or if the past first time legendaries also started on Mondays. Because I thought back in the day they used to start on Fridays, but things are
just like back in my day, we used to walk uphill.
Back in my day, they used to release characters in raids.
Don't get me started on that. I really wish they did that again. Well, is Silver Surfer a raid release?
Yeah, it depends who you ask. How much do you want to stretch?
Yeah.
All right, so 2 shards for for every 100 energy. Hopefully that helps you. I've noticed about that. That's kind of my expectations as well. Every 100 energy, that some days you're getting luckier, some days you're not, but about 2 shards per 100 energy. So hopefully that helps you planning out if you're gonna get enough shards for Captain Sam or not. But the one that we still don't know where she's gonna be is Maria. Or we know Maria. We don't know Sharon Carter, the power broker. But like you said, she was very, very friendly with her character release. Kind of like Silver Samurai right now in event campaign. Most players are able to get the most shards from these event campaigns, especially if they're doing the 50 refreshes. Definitely if they're doing the 100 refreshes. There's still some RNG, but normally this is the most friendly method of release of a character. Based on that, based on her release method, where and when do you think we're going to have Sharon Carter finally
feels like a Blitz Orb.
Orb. Oh, that sounds so ugly.
Like a Blitz Orb. That's one of those things where they can throw them in there for the releases, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping maybe she's direct to the Blitz store. So wasn't it Domino the same thing, went to the Blitz Orb.
Domino did go to the Blitz Orb. Who's in there now? There's somebody in there right now. Oh, somebody was just added. White Tiger was just added. I don't think it's going to be a Blitz Orb. White Tiger was in there.
The trap to get you to open your orbs and then,
Oh, that she's out and then right into the store. That would be dirty. That would be super dirty.
Wasn't it like Rescue went in there and then Domino? You're like, oh.
Yeah, but I don't think it was immediate. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep my original prediction with her. Because Captain Sam went to a node, I'm gonna still say raid store for her, and I'm predicting that friendly place because she was a friendly release method. So I'm thinking they're going to have a raid store for her. No, that's the other reason I'm thinking raid store as well.
I don't want to be right.
I hope I'm right too. I hope it's not the double White Tiger then Sharon Carter Blitz store. That would be bad. All right, but let's talk about this playtest. We hinted at it a little bit. I was not on it. You were. So what is your impression of Omega Red? How good is this character? How good is this character on War? How good is this character outside of War? What was your just basic impression of this character? We've seen his kit for a while. Using him. What do you think of Omega Red?
First is, and I say this a lot, right? But he's fun to play. The whole team together just feels powerful. And one thing about it is there's definitely some interesting matchups, but they pretty much decimate, and we got to figure out, and that's one of the things about the playtest I think that's cool is, if we get a chance to get in there, and I'm going to try to help you get on today, so make sure stay tuned. We'll try to help you get in there.
The word is I'm supposed to get on today. We'll see if that actually happens though.
And then the thing about it is, it's definitely going to be challenging. Are people going to want to put him on defense like they did with?
Hold on. I get that. As far as legendaries, though, where are you ranking him? Where are you ranking him? Is he above Doc Ock, above Ebony Maw? Is he where would you rank him as far as legendaries? How good of a legendary is his? What is your impression of him using him?
He's better than Adam Warlock.
Better than Adam. People were disappointed when Adam Warlock first came out. Now he's on my raid
team, and I ate those words really quickly.
Okay. So it sounds like the best legendary character.
We'll have to stay tuned. There's a lot of. This is going to be a whirlwind week, I think. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you got something coming up a little later today. I know you can't talk about it, but very fun. Hopefully you can provide some hints for us. I don't know. All right. Now I want to ask you. He's supposed to be a war offense character. This whole Weapon X team is countering the heroes for hire, but some people are putting them on war defense. What was your impression of this Weapon X team? Obviously, you want to be able to counter heroes for hire. I think offense is a little more important, but is there any justification for putting this team on defense? This Weapon X team, even with Omega Red?
A lot of different characters. What's fun about it is there's a couple of mutant villain characters, wink wink nudge nudge, return of some additional characters in that regard, but more importantly there is a ton of uses I think even for offense, and what's funny about it is I think especially if your opponent is using a Weapon X team on defense, I think you have a chance to use them on offense a little bit more effectively because this is the way they do their turns, and knowing the kits are better. So what's probably going to shape up in War is you're just going to be matching up and comparing how people acquired it. I would probably say that they make an interesting War defense with the four of them, but I think there are some War offense combinations, but they definitely benefit greatly from the presence of Omega Red.
So what I'm still trying to wrap my head around placing this team on defense. The Heroes for Hire makes War suck for me. I don't like War because of Heroes for Hire. I want their counter. I want them available for offense to smash those dirty Heroes for Hire, which is total trash, by the way. Scopely, whoever designed that should be reprimanded. Anyway. Okay, so what is the justification for putting them on defense and not countering that horrible Heroes for Hire team? I don't get it. So, explain this to me.
I think people will just want to frustrate their opponents. I think sometimes you over
just to troll them. Well, just to troll them. That's
the idea. So what'll happen is so the war meta may change, right? Let's say you're you're helping design your war teams, and that half your lines can't get on at a certain time. When Weapon X comes out, Weapon X is going to take out Heroes for Hire. Then what do you do with your Infinity Watch? What are you using if you're able to take out everything else? What do you throw your Infinity Watch on defense and just watch as people struggle with it? What do you do? Yeah, and so that's what you're gonna. So what's interesting about that is that's what's kind of fun, right? Is if you make that choice in one war, you might regret it, but you might also frustrate your opponent, and I think that's kind of that unknown with War, and I just wish War currency wasn't so hard to come by. I wish you didn't have to win your fight to get War currency, right? And that's the problem is I think if you don't win a fight, that war currency, you don't get it as much as you would, had you win and taken all the members, and so that ruins kind of the.
Well, that's the one thing Heroes for Hire has done is it's reduced the war currency that everyone's getting because we're not getting as many full clears. And I don't know if that was the intention of the devs to reduce our war currency or just make war more frustrating for us or make war slower for us. But Heroes for Hire has had a lot of negative effects. So
that happens periodically. You know that always happens. You know, when people were doing the shelling stuff, that always happens when a new challenge comes and matchmaking happens. And I don't justify it, but the war store is pretty busy these days, with G16 and important characters for legendaries. It's so I don't want to say, well, people say, they don't like war. Unfortunately, you have to figure out how to strike that balance so you're always getting currency.
Yeah. Now, as far as war, we know Omega Red is going to be solid in war. I think it should be offense, but I know there's some people who say put it on defense. Is there any viability for Omega Red outside of war? I know in a conversation we had with the devs in the initial thing, they're talking about potentially an arena character. Have you tested him in arena? Have you tested him in raids? I mean, is he better than Axeman in some of the Doom 2 lanes? Is he viable there, or would he just be war? Is he just a war character?
So it really depends on what you have as your arena. It's for some people it'll be the meta right away. For some people,
beating Infinity Watch, is he better than Infinity Watch?
Depends, right? It really depends on how where you're sitting in your arena chart. If you get him, you can probably potentially. It's not an easy win. So they're not.
Okay, they're not better than Infinity Watch.
But it is that legendary soup. Okay. The makings of legendary soup, because trauma is kind of that counter to safeguard, right? And we were talking about some of the effects, and I think that's the big thing, right? Is with the playtest is seeing the effects of trauma, and so you can kind of have that idea about it. One of the things that came out of the that I'm pretty sure we can share is trauma prevents Doom from removing the stun on himself. So there's some viability on specific nodes in Doom Raid. So basically, imagine being able to stun Doom for 2 turns.
Now, unfortunately, speaking of Doom Raids, though, he has that mutant tag. We already have Axeman as a solution. Do you see him as coming in to that and changing up? Maybe a hybrid team works better than Axeman, or from your testing, does Axeman
still work better on those nodes? So I really haven't been able to test the Doom that I'm in, but I'm concerned about the buffs that the slow. So people undervalue Iceman and Kitty Pryde. All right, they undervalue them, what they do in the raid, especially as you move that slider up. That damage reduction from the slows and the ability to apply offense down and disrupt are invaluable. Plus, she's clearing very frequently and getting speed up when enemies have taunt. So when it comes down to it, I think there's probably as you challenge harder content, especially on the boss node, I think Omega Red will give you some alternative to build, but I don't think it's a build instead. I've got to do more testing when I get it on my account and get it live to match up with the power I have on my roster. The test accounts, I haven't had a lot of chance to test it inside of Remanx.
Okay. And I guess the question is, let's say someone went in reverse. They didn't unlock Adam Warlock. They are unlocking Omega Red. Can he be placed on Infinity Watch as a potential option if you don't have Adam Warlock and really do something against Infinity Watch, or does he make that team a little worse?
It's interesting. He definitely because he's self-sufficient, right? A lot of what he does in his own regard, from his health down to his ability to prevent the buffs, and so that's important because realistically, part of what the Infinity Watch is preventing them from getting death proof and getting the drain and the like of that. So he is the best in war. Weapon X was designed for war and so, but
okay,
just from testing, he's not going to be an instant change in the meta, but he's going to allow people to potentially, like you said, as a fifth member, create some additional meta counters.
Gotcha. I'm getting a lot of Doc Ock kind of vibes from him, you know, as far as the use and the viability and stuff. I'm getting that from his kit. Plus, he has the tentacles.
Think
too.
like he's like Doc Ock plus Minerva plus, you know, he's got so many different pieces of the. I mean, he's got so many little call-outs to other kits, and you know, especially in war when he's taking that 15% health just right away from characters. You know, it's going to be interesting to see just how powerful they really are.
Yeah, I'm curious to see in game, not the maxed out test server version, but what my Omega Red is actually going to do. But speaking of the rest of the Weapon X, we did get one over the past week added to the game. You actually play with her with your account, not with a test account. Lady Deathstrike. How has she been for you? Obviously a war character. I know you've done some war tests. I know you've done some raid tests. What is your impression of her as a war character and as a raid character? Because she doesn't have that mutant tag. She has that tech tag, which is probably a little more important in the Doom raids than that mutant tag. So what is your impression of her as a war character and as a raid character?
I want to say this very specifically. She kind of feels like that Gamora Moondragon how they impacted skill before we got Secret Avengers. Like she isn't the tech solution. She is she's better than she's trash, probably better than some of the other characters that you might have been using. Her ability, the deadly weapon to rewind time is actually very effective. Her passive, when she applies bleed and then drops the enemy resistance by 50%, is helpful in certain scenarios, like against you know, especially in the tech lane with the frustration you have with, you know, Captain Sam, being able to apply some debuffs to him so you can actually start pinging characters with Kestrel. And so that's the big difference. She has a couple of key elements. And despite, you know, her seemingly lower health past the after Silver Surfer method, she still is able to survive very, very well. She's got a lot of built-in survivability with her evades and her death proof. So it's definitely a character that isn't gonna, you know, if you do bring her up, she isn't gonna cost you some effectiveness because if you start to build a war offense team. So she'll have some use.
Gotcha. Now using the raids, let's go back to the original intent, the war. Have you used this as a 4-piece team, the Weapon X team? Because we not on the test server. We don't have a Mega Red in the game yet. So what is your impression of them as a 4-piece? They're fun on
offense and defense. I'll tell you, like Silver Samurai, if you've got them built up, can be absolutely devastating. Just real quickly, I mean, so let's talk about a couple of the meta combos. If you want to break them up, there's ways to use Lady Deathstrike and Silver Samurai on a team. There's ways to use Sabretooth and Wolverine with like the X-Men, and they're devastating. So you can create multiple teams out of them if you're not able to get a Mega Red. But if you combine the 4 of them, I think with another potentially like meta tune like Emma or Sinister on offense, there are some additional teams that work. More importantly, you know, especially against another team, is you know, if you can get that chance to go first and go into, you know, especially with the enemy team, they're devastating. They just do so much damage. I mean, have you fought against a Sabretooth or Wolverine on defense and be like, whoa, what just happened?
Oh yeah. There's one of those old Marauders teams. You're like, oh yeah, it's like, oh shoot, Sabretooth got a rework. He's a lot stronger now.
Devastatingly stronger.
Now I don't know how much testing you've done with them as a 4-piece, but I've done a few. Not in real wars, in practice mode, so the room bonuses weren't there, but punching up against Black Orders, punching up against Sinister Six, punching up against Wave 1 Avengers. Not the meta nowadays, but they were former meta teams. So I would say still, as a 4-person team, that's still pretty impressive.
I think that's the thing about them is they're really, I'm going to say it, right? They kind of feel like that top tier war offense team that we get it periodically, right?
They should be. They should be, right? That's what they're billed as, right? So it's good that we're getting something sold to us as a top war offense team, and they're kind of feeling like that. Even without Omega Red in the game, they're feeling like a very good war offense.
They're doing some testing. They're letting the envoys go in there, record some footage, and
they're doing what? I misunderstood you. I haven't heard that word for so long. I didn't understand it. What was that word you said?
And so I think that's been a huge
scope. Wow, yeah. Scopely it's crazy.
So,
craziness, dude.
Yeah, it's I'm is this a new era? I don't know.
Maybe
we've been here before. You know this, so yeah, we'll definitely stay tuned for today. I'm sure we'll hang out a little bit later.
Oh, this might be the new era, and then there'll be a new era in a month or two.
Did you say era or error?
All these errors. I said era, but error also works. So whatever you heard, it works. All right. All right, so with her event, there's an event starting. It's either today or tomorrow. I'm a little confused by this. I did post this in Envoy chat. I haven't had
it feels like the blog. I don't know, and hopefully we get an answer on that. But it's 7 hours, and the blog said what, the 22nd. So
yeah, so let me back up. If we look in game right now, as of us recording this, the lab experiments, the event for Lady Deathstrike, supposed to start in 7 hours and 57 minutes. But if we go to the most recent blog that we got, it says coming live on October 22nd, which is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, lab experience event. So I think you answered this already, but what do you think is correct? The one in game or the one that we saw in the blog post last Friday?
Preview. There you go. So I think that's why. If you don't see it, it's probably not correct.
It's not coming. Well, yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes they do stuff at server reset. We got more shenanigans from Scope Play, but like I said in the beginning, it's just I'm not as pissed off about this stuff. It's nothing has changed, but I just in my impression of it. All right, so I think the thing about this is the raid health, because to get these milestones, as we look at this event, you need to do arena battles, raid battles, or blitz battles. Now, raid currency takes about 12.5 hours to get from 0 to max energy. This is important to know if we should be saving some of our raid health or if we should be using it. So hopefully we get some clarification very soon. But yeah, let's talk about this event in particular. We're getting some decent rewards in this mini candy and event store. They've been doing these event stores for the past few events. Previously, we've just had some orbs that have had some good stuff in it, some bad stuff in it. But now we get to choose what we get. How are you liking these stores? Are they? I see you're clapping. I love it.
I think it's love so it as well. I think it's good. The RNG that the orbs were providing just felt bad, right? Because you can like and so you're watching me open like all gold drops. You're like, I hate Reman. Just I wish he would stop. I wish Reman would stop opening orbs. And then but that's the problem with that. It was all based on RNG. So this lets people make a decision, and it's that agency factor, and it's so important when you're playing a hero collector to have that agency, because you then can feel that investment, and the time you spent is going directly into the character. And so the more agency you take away and the more you rely on RNG, the less rewarding the time spent in game feels. This is a big deal. I'm glad they're bringing it back. It seems like they realize that this is a really good player-friendly approach to this, and I think that's we talk about goodwill. I think this is probably their continued goodwill and trying to promote more goodwill for the community.
So, and yeah, I like it. I like the agency. I don't like RNG. RNG's, we have so much RNG
I got
in the
another
game,
7 red star yesterday, by the way.
Orbs and all this.
Prepare to be jealous.
What did you get on your red star? Okay.
Merc Soldier.
Dude, I am so jealous. I am super jealous. I know all of you in the Valley Club are jealous as well. Not all of us can be as lucky as you, Remanx, but I wish I was. we're getting some good events and we're getting some good rewards in this event. We're getting the shards for Lady Deathstrike herself, the phase bits, where we're going to talk about it a little bit, augmented and superior uniques, which is good. I think the augmented, the teal stuff is what a lot of players want for Dark Dimension 5 and the grand prize of Dormammu. Yes, so as far as these prizes, do you think they're pretty? I mean, how happy with these prizes are you? I guess there's no cool question there. Are you happy with these? Are you happy with these
absolutely. I think,
rewards?
Again, I can't reiterate enough that I really enjoyed the Shang-Chi event, and so anything that kind of goes that way, and even that ISO event was nice. I honestly, you want to know my real wish, Valley? My wish is they put that store in there instead of even instead of that random drop we get in the left side. Bring that ISO currency that we had, that we let us buy the currency, and let us use that to buy what we want. It would be it would take away the sting that these blue orbs have, which are like, I think I've got like 900 of like one in controller and one of another. It's like, this is I'm telling you right now that the more they can do it like this, the better the community feels the goodwill.
It's like they took all the green ISO 8 stuff. Oh, you guys like this? Let's do this new thing. You're gonna like this even less, but this is how it's gonna be in the game. It's gonna be so much worse. So hopefully they figure something out with that blue gear, because it's not working very well. They did mention these silver phase bits, and this silver phase bits is for this ancient Pharaoh costume of Venom, and apparently this is a totally unique design for Marvel Strike Force. Why do you think they chose Ancient Pharaoh? There's rumors of some Egyptian-ish type characters coming to Marvel Strike Force sometime as well. Do you think this has anything to do with that? Do you think this is just a costume for Halloween? Why do you think this means anything, or this is just a costume?
For me, that feels like it is their own story. But if you take a look at the costume and when it came out in the iconic stories, you'll actually see.
Marvel Strike Force 2021.
There was a story from Forever Yesterday.
Costume. Okay, I thought you said costume.
Yeah.
Costume. Okay.
Forever Yesterday. It was inspired a lot by the Egyptian, and one of the main characters featured like a Venom-esque. So they kind of took an old story, modernized it, and took a character like Venom and gave him the iconic image of a cobra, right? Because Venom, cobra. So is it as iconic as Deathpool? Deathpool they nailed. I mean, and so everything's gonna feel a little bit different. And I think we have to understand that it's a new costume. Whether or not you want to grab it is up to you. I did go for the Weapon X costume. Remanx had to get Weapon X. Yeah.
Okay. I went for the Invisible Woman. That's probably my favorite in the game. Yeah. All right. So it could mean something. Could mean nothing down the road. Could be tied to a story. We will have to see if this means anything down the road, or if this is just a costume.
Do you want to go over the little story Easter eggs from the the Easter eggs from the samurai thing? Did you actually go over that?
No. That's yeah. Well, let's talk about that. What Easter eggs did you pick up on? Because I'm someone that does not read these stories. I just go, I want the shards. I'm doing the hero collector. I'm not enjoying the story along the way. I'm just collecting stuff. So what did you pick up as far as the Easter eggs?
There was definitely some reference about another more powerful sword, and so this is the there was another entity like in the sword. So there's a lot of little iconic swords that have come to the game. Gamora's most recent sword, and the Muramasa. So there could be other characters that wield swords. Like, could it be something like an Eternal, or could it be the Null with the Void Sword? Or there's all these different iconic swords out there. So they kind of referenced like the hierarchy of power of sword, and I love that, because it's kind of something that is always fresh in people's mind when they do introduce like a sword like the Muramasa.
Yes, many swords out there. It could be a clue of many that goes in different directions. Valley Club, Let me know in comments. What do you think that clue? What do you think that sword is referring to? So many swords in the Marvel universe. Any other Easter eggs that I missed in this campaign that you picked up on?
Not a lot. I'm sure a lot of people picked up some other ones. If you guys had anything that maybe I missed, you can put them in the comments and we'll go over it. But I really, I enjoy when there's a little Easter egg in there. And if they're weaving it towards maybe introducing like bigger bads, that I'm okay with it.
Me as well. Yeah. I like it. I think, just judging by your comments, I think I know where your head is at for what.
I don't even know where my head is at. So that would be like I'm so like the room.
It sounds like you're leaning towards no, based on the Twitter picture that you sent the other day, based on the absolute carnage costumes. It's gonna be null. Null is coming back when it happens. So I'm thinking you're thinking it's null and his sword there, but I don't know.
I'm trying to trigger Cerebro's algorithm, so he goes. So he's like, "What? They want null, guys? Let's make it happen." I'm trying. I figure I want to use my powers to let's see, because he's in every other game, and I just read.
Yes, but I don't know if those triggers are working, because we never got a nerf for America Chavez. We know she's still super overpowered in Marvel Strike Force, so something's not working with that algorithm.
I guess all my thoughts on that are null and void. All right.
All right. Gamma raids are back. We started talking about this. Probably the worst of the Greek raids. Does this feel easier with stronger Kree and Pimtech? Are you someone that's built up your heroes for hire and has that middle lane? Is this easier, the same, or worse for you right now? So I built up my heroes for hire, and I was in the middle lane, and now I'm on the outside with the Kree because I got a 7 red star Ultimus. So I don't even want to start. I'll tell you that it's good to be able to be flexible, and the Gamma raid I think is a lot easier with the current stuff. So I know Phyla-Vel was a huge difference maker, right? She is. I wasn't able to pass the 4.3 without Phyla-Vel. Now I am, but it's still rough. It's still rough, even with Phyla-Vel.
Talk about the team I'm using.
Still rough. Sure. So what is the team you're using?
So Shuri.
I might be using a similar team.
Phyla-Vel.
Okay, I got her.
Minerva.
I got her.
Captain Marvel.
I got her.
And
7
red star Ultimus.
Oh, I don't use it.
Well, that's your problem.
All right. Well, I guess I just gotta get a 7 red star Ultimus, and then he'll be viable in these Greek gamma raids that come around 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a couple
of every 6 weeks.
There. Like you can use Killmonger, or you could, because with the defense up, and you have a couple different options. But the thing about that's interesting is if you could protect Minerva, and when she reses a character, she's giving them death proof, so they have the drain built in. So it's something that once they have drain. I make sure I save the attack, so I'll let somebody die and then get the res and have them just use drain. And so
I forgot about that.
That was actually another player-friendly decision. They could have left it as made it only inside Infinity Watch, but they let it infect everybody.
I like that. I like that as infecting everybody. All right. We had a weird kind of bug that happened. I was not aware of it till this morning. We had some farmable pieces of gear 15 for 15 minutes? Was it an hour? Whatever it was very short amount of time, but as you can see, a few nodes were affected. We see right here Doom 2.5 started to get some pieces of gear as well. Actually, let me open this up, because there's Doom 5. We also had Doom 2.8, Doom 3.2, Doom 3.5, and last but not least Doom 3.8, all with gear 15 pieces, which were probably reported by a few envoys and then removed by Scopely. So thank you for reporting that, guys. Did you take advantage of this? Were you able to farm any of these pieces? I didn't find out about this morning, so it was long gone when I found out about it. But
I was not. I was in the middle of another. I was doing some work in another avenue I'm pursuing, and so when I took a look at it, it was right before reset. I didn't even have a chance to farm Sam, because at the time I was able to open up my game again, it was right before reset, and so that's why I said I think I think the game was like, oh, you got lucky because you didn't farm the day before, so it was like, oh, I'll give you stuff. I'm affecting some zeros, I wonder, do you think this is probably them signaling that they may want to put him in here?
No, I honestly, I think what happened is they're putting the Gear 15 pieces in this. We didn't have an announcement. This got released early, like a lot of the stuff. So I think this is coming down the road. I think it went early live yesterday. Then I think we're gonna get an announcement that Gear 15 is gonna be farmable in Doom, and then I think this is gonna be live later. That's what I think they do
happened. That. I don't want to get my hopes up too much and everything here. But I will say that G15 has been kind of cut off from availability from because of the way the Doom raid is, right? If you're doing Doom 2.0, you're not getting as many G15 as you got from the Doom 1.0. This would be the perfect way to balance that in my opinion, because a lot of these are you can easily target farm a couple of these nodes because there's other good stuff on there, and the value of these nodes goes up. This is where a lot of the gold is, decent training mats on some of these, and so fingers crossed. I mean, we'll have to see. I hope you're right.
I mean, it makes sense, right? They said they introduced teal gear, and they're going to make orange gear more available. I think this is a preview of what is coming, and hopefully in this blog post or very soon after that, we get an announcement that this is official, because this was very specific nodes that this was targeted. This is not one node that had a bug. This looked like this was intentional. Someone sat down and planned this out. They wouldn't do that for a bug. I think this is just early, and I think we're gonna get this soon. So, and hopefully we get compensation as well for the players that were able to farm this stuff.
I mean, and one thing is, stay tuned. We'll have to see. It's just, if it was coming, I wish they just would have left it in there, right? But I wonder if there was other issues in regarding to that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of compensation, we did get some compensation yesterday because the character shard availability for the supplies for Lady Deathstrike was unintentionally ended a day early, and this was from October 20th. This tweet was sent out. The shards are reactivated for the duration of time stated in the inbox message. We're sending out compensation for the confusion, inconvenience. We got this in our game yesterday. I think I got 3 Lady Deathstrike shards or something like that. Right. What did you get? Was it the same for everybody? Whereas you got 3 as well? So I think it was the same for everybody. I did not know that she disappeared. So for me, this was just free shards. What was your level of knowledge of this as well?
I mean, I gotta wonder if did somebody like refresh the shop? Were people refreshing the shop for cores still? So hopefully they addressed the people that did that with different compensation.
That's who really needs to get compensated. The people that were refreshing this, expecting her to be there and her not showing up.
It was cheaper to buy the orbs overall. I mean, you'll get 10. You'll get 10 from a 900 or 670. Yeah, I'm.
Well, this was a little weird, right? She was in the store, I think, on Friday, and then her offer came out on, was it Saturday or was it Sunday? It was normally they leave in that store for like a week. People are buying, refreshing that store, and then the offer comes out. But I think because of the flag on Silver Samurai and that getting pushed back, this got pushed back as well. There wasn't a lot of time in the store, so yeah. In this case, it did make sense just to spend the cores on the orb in the store.
Yeah, there's definitely people that were affected by this. You know for a fact that they wouldn't. But 3 shards is 3 shards. That's.
Yeah, 3 shards of Lady Deathstrike is good for me, and hopefully they reward some of those cores for people that did underspending, or maybe nobody did. Maybe because the orb was in there so soon, they're like, screw the store, let's not refresh. Let's just buy the orb.
Imagine if you needed just 10 more shards, 10 more shards,
3
right?
Shards.
So.
You're buying that, and all that.
Then you're looking like, why isn't it in my shop?
Yeah, why isn't she's supposed to be there? All right, quick bonus thing. Relic Hunt, it is returning this week, getting piles of catalyst by sending the hand team in battle. Is this even anything worth talking about anymore? Is this the bottleneck for a lot of players? I know it hasn't been a bottleneck for me, but everybody has different bottlenecks based on where they are in the game. So is this a bottleneck that you're even hearing about as far as what we get from Relic Hunter anymore?
The problem with that is realistically hand team, right? So we're still using this hand team to farm it. So how are people prioritizing the hand team enough to really get this as they become newer players? or start playing this game. I think the new player experience is something lacking. Is I don't know how to tell a new player to build this team up for some orange gear. I think it's an afterthought, right? Yeah. Or oops by accident. The good news of that is you don't need a very powerful team to get through it. The bad news is you need hands. You need to use your hands.
This is good.
And that's not your hand.
But the Remanx, Nobu's passive is one of the strongest in the game. He could be dead and still be reviving people. Who can revive people while that character is dead? Only Nobu.
Yeah, only Nobu.
Okay. Let's talk about some rumors. Yeah. Let's talk about some rumors. Some rumors of the week. Now, Drew has been very active. He's been getting a lot of rumors.
Are gonna come back to this moment later on. They're going to come back to this moment and be like, why do you disrespect Nobu?
Yeah, why? Why would you disrespect Nobu? Super strong, super powerful, powerful passive. Apologies for any disrespect for Nobu in the past, but yeah, it is. All right, let's get to the rumors. Drew has been discussing a lot of rumors. I guess the latest one that he's been talking about is Eternals, which makes sense to me because they have a big movie coming out. Usually they try to tie in stuff. He revealed some character names that they're testing right now. Earlier this week. That's being tested right now. This may or may not be who ends up in the game, but let me get your thoughts on these names. Cersei, Kingo, Phastos, Thena, Icarus. Do these names mean anything to you? Are you hearing similar things from some of your sources about these characters, or someone different, or is it not even the
right now
Eternals?
That they're like the sources are kind of like this. Everybody's saying everything, and it's kind of fun, right, to be able to speculate. And so, I prefer speculation over rumors. But I will say that the MCU has a lot of stuff coming out, and I think what Shang-Chi was the only thing from the movie that we had to tie in. What do we have from Venom, Carnage? What did we have? That
they don't do the Sony stuff. Only the MCU stuff. They don't do the Sony. They didn't do anything for the Into the Spider-Verse. They didn't do anything for the first.
Black Widow. We got eventually. I think we got Taskmaster. Well, I mean,
we got a costume. Some people got a Taskmaster costume. I didn't, but I would have liked that costume.
We had Black Widow, Red Guardian, Yelena, and so I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, what November we've got we have the Hawkeye, right?
And
we
have
Hawkeye. December we have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
which is a Sony movie, which may or may not have a tie-in in this game.
We'll have to see. I mean, I don't think they can just simply not have.
I hope you know something that I don't, and this is fact.
All I can say to you is, there's too many rumors for me to bank on anything, right? People are telling me if the they have the Midnight Suns because they saw Cerebro in a
game
in a like a Midnight Sun mask out when he was out in one of his personal tools.
I think that was teasing this Weapon X team. Honestly, looking back on it, I think he was trying to do something with his Weapon X team.
I love the Midnight Suns, but I don't think not this Halloween, guys. And so I think there's just I think with the MCU back, I think we'll probably follow more of it. How many or what we get of characters will probably depend. I think what I kind of heard was a young Avenger, maybe the Hawkeyes at some point down the road. But I can't validate that, right? So imagine some of the young Avengers who had kind of like a Hawkeye-like effect would be amazing. But that was rumored when the team came out.
Kate. They could bring Kate in. They could bring Kate in. Kate would be a cool character. But what team would she fit on? Because I also heard Thunderbolts a while back, which kind of makes sense for some of these other characters. But those were kind of died down. Hellfire Club rumors are still around, and of course the Horsemen of Apocalypse, Hellfire Club. Sebastian Shaw reworks the Magneto is what Drew is saying that they're discussing right now. Have you been hearing any of these rumors on your end?
I hear these rumors. They come from the community. They come from these random sources that just message me on Discord or in my chat, and it's fun. I think. But that's the thing about gets excited is, what characters coming next, and we've got a lot of there's a lot to draw from with the current age and movie started back up, right? So I feel like
yeah,
I'm hoping we see Spider-Man, but I don't know.
a rework, that'd be cool. I mean, there's been some spider rumors as well. I've been hearing the name Spider-Gwen. There's so many directions they could go right now. Maybe the devs are testing all of these and they're just choosing which direction to go with. I don't know.
With the movies kind of coming out and not being delayed, and now they come out on Disney Plus, if there was anything going on, I think that we'll see probably a lot more crossovers. Whether they come to MSF, I don't know. So, maybe a Young Avenger, right? Maybe something else.
Yes, I guess we'll see all of this. I mean, we'll probably get a big hiatus in December and January and get a bunch of characters, and hopefully they fit on a lot of teams and solve a lot of problems in Marvel Strike. That's the more important, not who is coming. What problems in Marvel Strike Force are they solving? And right now, tech is a problem for me, and Heroes for Hire. More Heroes for Hire counters, not just Weapon X. All right, but you have something that. Hope Spring is hurt. I would like that as well. If they smash the Heroes for Hire. All right. But Remanx, you got something special coming up. I don't know how much you could talk about it. So without breaking any NDAs or anything, what can you tell us about something that you may have coming up later?
See you at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific.
On your channel on YouTube or on your Twitch channel? All right. Is there anything you could do to hype it up a little more? Because I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to break anything for you. What is there anything you could do? I think it's something very exciting that you're going to reveal.
We'll have to see. There's a lot of stuff coming to Marvel Strike Force soon. We hope to hopefully sometimes you get it little exclusives, and I was able to bargain for an exclusive.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you were able to bargain that. Anything else that you have coming up? Anything else you want to promote, my friend? Okay, links are going to be down below to YouTube, Twitch, Discord, anything else you send me. The OnlyFans link I know is very popular amongst the MSF community, so that will be there as well. Remanx, before you go, anything else to say? Any other final thoughts?
I think it's challenging right now for alliance leaders trying to figure out war, trying to figure out where to fit with a raid. And I think one of the things about it is to embrace the community to help figure out solutions. I have I'm going to be talking to Valley a lot more about like the raid experience to understand. And I'll try to figure out if I can help him out with war. Maybe we'll do like a war breakdown with you, Valley, where we kind of go into the war teams and try it up for a little bit.
Cool.
So, cool. If you're still here, I hope you hang in there. I think there's some.
This is the Valley Club you're talking to, Remanx. They're gonna be here, whether MSF is awesome or crappy. The Valley Club is gonna be here strong.
I think the thing is. I went through it kind of after Skeletal, and I was like, are these new teams that have come to the game fun? Have the new characters been fun? And isn't that what we asked for? I mean, yeah, they're kind of coming out. It's not fun to have to like want them, every one of them all the time, but they're fun to play.
Well, I'd say everything except for Heroes for Hire has been fun. The new characters. Heroes for Hire has been trash. That has reduced my fun level in the game significantly, but the other characters have increased it. So I'd say it's a wash. It's a wash.
Whatever you do, don't tell us how you really feel.
They suck. Heroes for Hire sucks. They ruined war for me. I went to a casual war alliance because of Heroes for Hire, and then they made it worse with Shang-Chi. Anyway. You guys always hear me rant about Heroes for Hire. I'm sure you guys are done with that. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, join that notification squad, and make sure you check out Remanx's links down below. I will see you guys next time. Yes. Let's smash, baby. Where's that fist?
Oh my God,
where's the fist? There it is. It's a little delayed on my screen. There it is. There. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm good. All right, there we go. ValleyFlyin and Remanx out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
I said smash. It's supposed to be smash it. Right.
Damn it, Remanx. Actually, no. You got it right this time. You picked the right spot. I love it. I love it, Remanx.
I went bad. Kids were swearing.